The Man Booker is one of the biggest literary prizes in the world, and this year's winner will be announced on the 17th of October from a shortlist of 6 titles. Alongside American heavyweights Paul Auster and George Saunders, 2 debuts are up in the list as well. 2 previously shortlisted authors, Ali Smith and UK Pakistani writer Mohsin Hamid, are also competing for the $66,000 prize. Author Kaya Genc joins me now to speak more about which publication could possibly win the big prize. Kaya, welcome. So according to Ladbrokes, George Saunders' Lincoln in the Bardo is the top favorite out of all the 6. Do you think he's going to take the prize home or someone else will?
It's difficult to guess because he's an American. He's a great prose stylist. He's very well known in the US as a great writer. But he's American, that's his vulnerability. And the Brits will not be so happy to see an American getting the prize, because last year it was Paul Beatty who won the prize with his novel, The Sellout. And this year I think Mohsin Hamid has a bigger chance because his book is very timely, very topical, and it's not exactly a British writer, he's a Pakistani writer. But still, I think it will play better to the British sensibilities. So he's my favorite for this year's prize.
The award-winning writers, a lot of award-winning writers failed to make the cut. I know there are several established writers, but they seem that they're still relatively new. Do you think that the literary world is evolving by the judges' picks?
I think it is evolving. They made a sort of experimental shortlist. One of the writers is a very young English writer. Let me look at her name, Fiona Mosley. I haven't heard of her before, but apparently she started writing her book on the train from York to London and on her phone. So she was typing the opening sentences of the novel on her phone. And of course that's quite a difference from the kind of more established writers like Arundhati Roy, that everyone was expecting from Roy to produce a second novel, and this had come after so many years, and she's not on the shortlist. And Zadie Smith, you know, she's part of the established literary cultural world, and then they picked this very new writer who has a very unusual working style, and they put her in the shortlist. So I think they're being a bit edgy in their selections, and I think it's a good thing, because this was a surprising shortlist. I think it came as a shock on the level of maybe Donald Trump's election as the US president. No one was expecting Smith and Roy to be eliminated together. And I think also Kamila Shamsi, her elimination was also not expected. So it's a surprising list, and Paul Auster's presence in the list is also very surprising because his book was panned by lots of British critics. They didn't like the book, they found it too long. His sentence is too clanky. It's like a very baggy, huge book, and British critics like precise prose, you know, shorter sentences. And I think Mohsin Hamid's book is very good at that, because at 200 pages, it's almost the size of The Sense of an Ending, that Julian Barnes novel that won the Man Booker Prize a few years ago. So I think it has the perfect size, the perfect sensibility. So that's why I think it will win.
This competition is open to authors that write in the English language, and it was open to US writers 3 years ago. But it seems like they're getting criticized, saying that they're Americanizing the UK literary contest. Why do you think that they're so scared?
Well, I think Americans are also concerned. I read a piece by Washington Post's book review, editor of Washington Post book review, and he said, you know, the British people should stage a Brexit for the Man Booker Prize. They should just kick us out, because we want to see, even the Americans want to see British writers to win this prize, because they have the Pulitzer, they have their own prizes, big prizes, and George Saunders was one of the winners of that prize, and so they want to discover something new from the British islands and the Commonwealth. But I think the British want some competition. Maybe they thought that you know, it's too easy, too comfortable for us. The same circle is winning the prize all the time. Let's open this a bit up. Let's have some competition. But then you look at the shortlist, it's 3 authors from the US, 3 American authors, only 2 British writers and a Pakistani writer. So now the British writers are in a minority, and
they feel like they're being overtaken by the US.
Yes, they have been definitely overtaken by American writers, but that's what they wanted themselves. That's I guess the price you have to pay for competition.
Well, we're very eager to see who's going to take the big prize home. Thank you so much for joining us, Kaya.
Thank you for having me.